Hello. It's been a while. My voice sounded very weird at the beginning. Easy. So, I have a few things to go over here. We're going to start the run and then I'll start going over them. So we have Onimaru here is who I'm going to be running today. And let's go. So I am a moderator for the Fantasy Strike Discord, and I believe that I haven't actually submitted a run or even maybe done a run since I became the moderator. It's not going well so far. So first, my setup has changed. I lost my ability to... I might just reset this run. This is not going to turn out in a good time. So yeah, now my setup is very much diminished. My computer hard drive broke, and so now I'm just recording with my phone camera onto my Switch and a timer from my iPad, and that's the best I can do to record any gameplay currently. So I'm working with what I got. And it's not the best quality, but it's doable. It's going a little better now. Oh, don't mind my home screen there. I actually am going to reset the run. That was not going good enough. So let's try this again. Still doing easy. And go. So, I should be holding down a button. I did do a practice run before this, but it's kind of late and I'm kind of tired, so it's fine. Anyway. So, when it comes to... Oh, and if you're hearing any noise from outside, I apologize. We're by a road and trains, and it's annoying, but it is what it is. Alright, so into the actual run. So, as I said, I became a moderator for the Fantasy Strike Speedrunning. I said Discord. I did make a Fantasy Strike Speedrunning Discord. And if you'd like to join that, I'll put the link in the description. It's also linked on our speedrun.com page, Fantasy Strike speedrun.com page. So part of what I have added as moderator is a whole bunch of individual level runs, which is just every single character's arcade. So you don't have to only play the fastest, which is currently Valerie. Valerie currently functions as the fastest character to complete the arcade with. So now, instead of having to comply only by that, you can play any character you want, and they have their own spawn in the leaderboard. So I think that's nice, since this is a game with a whole bunch of different playable characters that you can just play who you have the most fun playing. So Midori's giving me a little bit of trouble here. So when it comes to Onimaru specifically, I am doing this for an IL run, obviously, because I'm not playing Valerie, so I'm going to be submitting this to the IL leaderboard. And the Onimaru strats, I think what I've come up with is just to basically do his normal, like 6 damage, not combo, but progression of attacks, which is those 3 right there. So we have forward A into B into B. and that's 6 damage if all of them hit. And against the easy computer especially, a lot of the times they'll just take all the damage. So most of the time you just want to hammer them away with those 3 attacks, and a lot of the time they'll catch them. Against some characters it won't work as well, but for the most part it works fine. So when it comes down to going away from that, okay, I thought I would guard crush, but the soldier kind of messed up where my guard crush was. So guard crush is a big help in chipping away at the opponent's health quickly, because you can do 2 damage to their health at a time instead of just 1 on chip. So even if they block all 3 of your attacks, the forward A into B into B, you're still going to get 2 chip out of it, which is very useful, especially on the characters that only have 4 or 5 health. So Onimaru either allows you to take the enemies down very quickly, or it takes a long time. Because if he gets like pushed away really far, it can be really hard to get back up close quickly. So the goal is to just never get pushed away and to stay close. Satsuki's pretty easy. She's pretty predictable. I'm actually gonna jump an A here. Okay. That time she didn't actually slide, and this should be it. So when it comes to each individual character, so far I don't really have any specific strats, and probably I'll eventually write out strats versus each character once I get them down, and I'll post them into the Speedrunning Discord. So if you would like to see what I write, you can go there. Okay, there is certain types of characters I can speak on though, which is most characters are fine for Onimaru to deal with, at least on easy difficulty. I haven't really gotten to the higher difficulties yet. On easy difficulty, it's not too difficult. Most of them are fine. But it's really sucky when you come up against a character with an invincible reversal. So that's Geiger, Jaina, and Grave. See, my mind is just gone. It's late for my brain to be functioning. So those 3 are ones you don't want to come up against. It's not helpful. Luckily, Geiger was nice to me. It's really sucky when he just wants to do a whole bunch of reversals. Luckily, that time he didn't. But if you do come up against one of those 3, then you just want to be a little bit wary of the reversals, and it might slow you down a little bit, but it's better not to get hit by it if you can help it. So R is really easy, computer. He can push you away with the water, and that's a little bit annoying, but especially if he doesn't do very much and just fires projectiles, we don't really care about that. We can just keep hitting at him like this, trap him in the corner, and it's really easy to take him down. Alternative strats. When it comes to differing from what I just did, which is the main one I've highlighted, it depends on what character you're against. For example, against Rook, I like to use jumping bees. That helps keep him at bay. And that's what I would do if I were just playing like online or whatever, or just against the CPU, normally not in a speedrun. But some general things you want to do maybe are jumping Cs, because they deal 2 damage and they get over projectiles. that you wouldn't be able to get over otherwise, and it has 2 armor on it like that. I actually wouldn't really normally do that against Quinn, so I just wanted to show off what I was talking about. You can also do a combo that is not really ideal because it doesn't do too much chip. If I can get up close, I'll show it off here. Here, I'll show it off now. Which is this one. He actually didn't block or anything, so I think it'd show the full thing. But it's neutral A into B into A. And that's a pressure combo that just kind of keeps him from being able to really respond to what you're doing. And you can do that forever. You can do it, usually if you're like right next to them when you start the first one, you can do it twice. And then you're too far away and you have to micro walk forward. There it is right there. Although I wasn't close enough to actually hit with the neutral A follow up to the B, but oh. And this is the end of the run, so that's time on the fade out. So that's a pretty good time overall. Let's do one more run, and I'll just go over any other thoughts I have. This is kind of like a speedrun video, but also thoughts about Phantasy Strike speedrunning as it stands and Onimaru. So let's finish talking about Onimaru, and that's the export to splits.io prompt. I should change that in the settings so it doesn't prompt me. So let's go and do another run, and we'll finish talking about my thoughts about Onimaru. We'll do another easy run. So, Onimaru has something new since the most recent Phantasy Strike update, which is he now actually has a true combo that isn't a counter hit combo. And that can be useful in speedruns, but since you're trying to be fast, you might want to predict it, and that can be dangerous because if you fail it, it leaves him very open. So I don't tend to do it too often in speedruns, but sometimes I'll just take the gamble and do it because it is a for sure 2 damage. So I'm going to grab here and then block, although I didn't continue blocking because I'm dumb. That's fine. For some reason I thought that he would continue blocking, because usually when you're in block stun, continue blocking, but I guess since that's a whole bunch of separate hits, or sorry, since it's not a true block string combo, he doesn't actually continue blocking against that projectile super. Anyway, his combo is neutral A into C. That's his true combo. If neutral A hits and he's close enough, I shouldn't have done that, and combo directly into C, and that's a guaranteed 2 hits. Valerie, kind of the same as Setsuki, doesn't pose that much of a threat. You just gotta watch out for her super, because it is invincible. So, apart from the zoners, also watch out for the invincible supers from the other characters. Watch out for DeGray's ground super, because it's a counter. You can hit right into it pretty easily with Onimaru. Watch out for Valerie and Onimaru's invincible supers. But for the most part, they don't seem to do them very much on the easy difficulty, which is mainly what my experience has been with so far. Oh boy. I do this to try and get in when he's doing water, so that, I think jumping C is good against Arg for that purpose. Okay, so right there, yes, that he punished my whiffed B there, or the blocked B. So I could have done C right there and it would have comboed because I hit the neutral A, but for one thing, I'm not really used to doing that yet. because he's only had that combo since the update, which has been like a week or so, and I haven't really played much Fantasy Strike since the update. So that would have been a good thing to do right there. That would have been guaranteed 2 damage. Also, it's kind of takes a long time though, because it knocks them down, and you do like the first part of C, but then you just continue doing it even though it doesn't hit. So it's not as fast as just doing forward A, B, B, and hitting all of them, which is like an instant kill on most characters. Well, all but 3 characters. Or boss Quince, of course. So that's fine. You don't usually want to do that because that's slow. I mean, we'll guard crush them for 2, but C takes a long time to complete, so I should actually not be using it as much as I am. See, that was pretty much a perfect round right there. 3 seconds. And it's over. So this is what you want to use most of the time. At least on this difficulty. So that was actually a combo. Which I didn't know that Lum could do. So this is fine here. Okay, I'm actually going to super just to get through all those fireworks and whatever Lum was going to do there. I don't find I need to super very much with Onimaru. But that was a good time just to get through all that crap. So speaking of his supers, you want to probably use ground super most of the time if you want to use a super. And that's probably if they're just trying to counterattack you. To keep your pressure on, you want to use it as a pressure tool. And to get through stuff, as you saw with Lum at the end there. And that'll guarantee that you can continue your onslaught of swings here. Okay, here I'm going to do a jumping... I was going to do that to get through, or to guard crush him, but it ran out right before it hit. So, yeah, probably want to use the ground super over the air super most of the time because air super is slow. This will just take a while to get across the field, and it's not usually worth... Oops. It's not usually worth doing over the ground super because it's just so slow to do the air super when we're doing a speed run. So you're going to want to rely on the ground super more. When it comes to... I lost my train of thought. Oops. I don't know which one. Okay, this is an annoying matchup because Grave CPUs tend to like to use C a lot, I've noticed. And so, don't want to do that right there. And it's super annoying and kind of difficult not to do that. I remember what I was going to say before. When it comes to juggling the opponent, if they're in the air and you do that and you hit, unlike what I did there. So I'm going to do this just to get through that. Oh, I did it a little early. Okay, I'm just going to let it run out. Trying to do things during when you're not already at the back of the screen is difficult, I've noticed. So yeah, let's not do that. So I'm going to wait here. Yep. And that actually doesn't punish, but the Grave just wasn't blocking either of those two, because that doesn't combo either. At least not unless it's on counter hit. So if you juggle them, like with the A, and whether the B follow-up does or doesn't hit off of the juggle if you hit them out of the air with the forward A, it's better not to do C because it's just a waste. It's never going to hit. And I have a habit of just doing it anyway. But I would recommend, instead of doing C on that juggle, here I'm going to do that because that's a guaranteed 2 damage and it will kill. That was the neutral aim to C. It's better to just try and close the gap. He's just taking it. So, Onimaru doesn't really care about the clones because his swings go so far that it kind of just hits all of them anyway, so wherever the real Quince is going to be hit. But anyway, speaking of the juggle, it's better to just do a... I'm a little salty about that sequence of unfortunate events. And that's where it's dangerous to do that. Oh, okay. I swore that was gonna hit. Okay, that's it. So yeah, that was pretty bad. That was 37 seconds over the last one. But I'll submit that that 833. That was pretty good overall. Anyway, to wrap up my thoughts on this, the juggle off of forward A, I would do the B regardless because sometimes it'll hit, but after the B, do dash forward A because that will give you the most distance. The A will do the little like shoulder thrust, and the dash forward will just gives you more distance forward. So it's the best thing to do off the juggle because then you're usually right up next to them by that point. If you're already near the corner, then you're definitely right up next to them. And if you're already in the corner, you can even just not do anything and just let him do his little stance after his B move and just not do a follow-up. So then you're ready to do whatever action on the wake up of the opponent. It's another thing you can do as well. So there was speaking of the update, it updated some good things for Onimaru and also some other characters, but it didn't really change any core game mechanics. I don't think I've recorded a video since the free-to-play update dropped, so speaking on that, hasn't really changed anything overall. It changed Quince to be the final boss, but otherwise the format's still the same. You have 5 fights and then the boss fight, which is the boss character with 2 more health than normal. So Quince normally has 6, so he has 8. So you have to dig through a couple more bars of health. But with Onimaru, he does 2 damage with a lot of hits, so it's not that big a deal. You can still take him down pretty quickly. Not much of a threat for Onimaru. And then as far as changes to the Discord, or sorry, to the speedrun.com page, I think some people might not have seen this, so I'll just address it here in this video for anyone who's watching and may be interested in speedrunning this, or is speedrunning this. The rules have changed to where the end time is now on the fade out after the final fight rather than the last hit. That's easier to stop the timer at, because then you don't have to do multiple things at once. After they do a little victory pose thing, wait for the fade out. On the fade out, stop the timer. And that's the only real change to the rules. Other than that, IO levels have been added. The page has just been generally cleaned up a little bit, so it's a little easier to see what's going on. And things are a little bit more organized. And that's all. So thank you for watching this video and hearing my thoughts about the most updated and recent changes to Fantasy Strike speedrunning, and I felt like choosing Onimaru just because Onimaru has been my new favorite character. Or my favorite character is still probably Rook, but my favorite character of the new characters. And I played pretty much strictly Onimaru for like the first week after he came out. So I'm real into him, and I think he has good potential for speedrunning in his own category. Like, he has some strats that can make him be able to end rounds really fast. Like, I kind of, when I'm speedrunning a character in Fantasy Strike, I try to complete rounds within the first 10 seconds. That's my goal with all the characters I do. Whatever moves they have that allow them to just clear the opponent's health within the first 10 seconds. That's my goal, and then I try and balance consistency with damage output, which Valerie doesn't really care for consistency. She just like mashes B, but that happens to be the fastest way. So I actually started speedrunning Fantasy Strike with Rook because I thought the consistency of his grabs would make him the fastest, but his grabs are so slow that it's just not faster than mashing B with Valerie, so she's the fastest. Anyway, now I'm rambling on, so that's it for this video, and I hope you might have gained some knowledge, some insight, and if you're just randomly stumbling upon this video about Fantasy Strike and or Fantasy Strike speedrunning, which you've never heard of, potentially, then go check out our speedrun Discord or speedrun.com page and or the official Fantasy Strike Discord, which I will also link if you're just interested in Fantasy Strike in general, but maybe not specifically the speedrunning side of it. And I'll see you all on the next video.